Hi guys. Okay, so today Monitor Audio Silver 200 review. I took my time on this one a bit just because I was so taken aback and surprised. As you can see, they are small speakers compared to the speakers around them. So I had the Monitor Audio Bronze 500s and the Gold 200, and I had those reviews, and I wanted to see what the silver is going to sound like. I could not get them in time for that review, so I got them after, and I wanted to see if they could fill that gap. And I wasn't expecting much. Me and my friend Alan from Homemation, that normally brings the speakers and brings me all the gear that I order from them. And while I'm on it, thanks for Homemation for sending this set for review. Me and Alan, our tastes are very much the same, and he said to me that the silvers are very good, and especially the 300s. So we got the 200s in now, so they're the babies. So I was not expecting much at all, and why I took my time is I was taken aback. To call them small speakers with big sound is an understatement, really. Still looking at them and then listening to the sound, I just don't know where it comes from and how they did it. And to say they fill that gap, it's accurate, but at the same time also, yeah, it's a big step. So to put it bluntly, for me, these are the way to go, because the bronzes, off just to the side, I'll bring them in just now so you can get a size comparison. The bronze for me is an entry set. Entry sets are hardly ever going to do it for me. They are good, they're not bad. It's just I've gotten used to a whole new taste or level, if you can call it that. So these for me are the place to go. They are obviously more expensive than the bronze, but much cheaper than the gold. So the bronze for me, entry. Gold, if you can afford it, obviously go there, but they're expensive. So these fill a gap where it's not cheap, but it's not expensive, and what you get for the price is very good. I was worried about the 2.5 way configuration being having shortfalls, but they just, not to my ears. I've been playing different music from classical to rock to even some hip hop and rap and some electronic music. It just does it all. You know where they hit the sweet spot for me? So this space where I'm now, I had them on different amplifiers. So they're here in the one cinema, and doing a lot of stereo listening here, sitting not too far away from them. So I would say again, if you have a big room, these will not do it for you. They won't be bad, but you won't get that full engulfment in music. So if I sit about where the camera is now, always using the triangle method where the speakers placed apart and towed into where you're sitting are more or less the same distance. And then different speakers like different toe in. I always start with them towed in just to the side of my ears. And that's where I had these, and that's where they hit the sweet spot for me. So sitting there, listening to them here on different amps, but they're on the Peachtree now, I could get a clear stereo image with vocals being dead center, almost sounding like they are coming out of the amplifier and not the speakers. So that for me is always when I know I have them set up right. Then it was mesmerizing listening to these speakers. So near field listening, amazing. But further back, still amazing. If you go too far back, you sort of, then the bass doesn't have the impact anymore because they are smaller drivers. Yeah, they're very close to the goals. I don't know, it's almost so close for me that, but it's this way with any speaker or audio equipment. The jumps start getting expensive, and you get to a diminishing return in what you spend to what you get. And audio has always been that way. You need to spend double the money to gain a fractional amount. So that's why I say these hit the sweet spot. I'm gonna play some royalty-free music. Use some good headphones or good speakers and see if you can hear what they sound like. Then I'm going to jump from the peach tree to the small little Denon, so you can just hear what it sounds like on big 300 watt power. And then on that small Denon, that Denon still, man, surprises me bang for buck. Again, like with all monitors, and I can't stress this enough, they do not like receivers. They just do not. Some reviewers have said that they are efficient on all things. I don't know what they used to listen, but they are not. I had them in Cinema Room 1, and it's the Denon 8500. It's the biggest receiver you get, comes in at a mighty price tag, and it just does not do them any justice. Their sound, so if you have not heard anything on a proper stereo or power amplifier, it will sound brilliant. But when you've heard power amps and good stereo integrated, it just doesn't do it. There's no dynamics in the sound. There's no fullness in the bass. They just don't. So Rotel again on monitor, that combo rocks. I might even do it quickly here, but it just blows everything away. So let's jump onto some demos for you guys. I'm going to move the chair. So I'm just going to randomly go through some royalty-free stuff. I'm going to grab the remote. So we are running Blue Sound for streaming, off Tidal, going to the Nova 300 from Peachtree. Okay, so I don't know. I wish we could actually play some vocal music so you guys could hear the vocals. But these C-cam drivers, and especially that tweeter, is so good. If there's vocals in your music, did you hear now with the guitar as the hand slides, how it brings it out? So it actually, it almost like, listen to me, this is what I'm doing. I love it. So when there's vocals, it sounds like you got your instruments, and then the performer is sitting where I am now, and the band's playing there, and they just do such a good job at that. So I wouldn't call them home theater speakers, more than proper stereo speakers. Not that they cannot be used for home theater use. I've always, since I started, had this rule where if a speaker sounds good on music, it's going to perform good on movies as well, because music is actually much more demanding than movies. Yes, movies have big explosions, but you would be surprised in music how high and how low some instruments can go, to a point that that's where some of the audiophile guys sort of go up in speakers. If you have something like the word slips my mind now. I'll drop it somewhere here. A church organ. It goes down low. Most speakers can't reproduce that sound. So yeah, so you need to if you're listening to that sort of music, you need something that can do that. On rock music, like I'm doing now, sometimes if you go up into the volume, it just becomes too much. It gets all distorted. So once again, you need to find a speaker that suits the music that you listen to. Some of them can do it all. I've not been able to fault this speaker actually. So if I have to be critical on electronic music, it couldn't keep up with the fast bass. So if there's a pumping bass, the small drivers just can't do it as two big 8s would do it. But on rock music, found them brilliant. And even on some of the hip hop stuff with slower bass, it does hit those low notes, and it's not as quickly on each other. So yeah, so that's basically it. Highly recommended. And thanks again to Homemation for lending these to me. I'm quickly going to switch over to the Denon, do some tracks again, and I'll just add that into the video. Till later, guys. Cheers. Okay. Switch to the small little Denon now, the PMA 150. Get on the monitor silvers, and I'm going to go through a different bunch of royalty-free music, and hear how good it sounds, guys. there was a nice little loop of different music. I actually got a much better selection of the Denon than I did of the Blue Sound. For some reason, the royalty free stuff is laid out better. So that played everything now, so you could hear, I hope you could hear the differences. But sitting to the side again, these speakers are highly recommended. If you're going to go monitor audio, try and skip straight into the silvers. Man, you will be rewarded in spades. And you get that feel for the golds. You get the build quality, like I did the knock test in the unboxing. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that video. And please guys, if you like stuff like this, like and subscribe. Let me know what speakers you want to hear next, or what amplifiers you want to hear next. Thanks guys, cheers.